Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to FPL Jedi Show episode 30, where the game week 35, we are going looking ahead this weekend. We are still in game week 34, just to remind everyone, with only one fixture left to be played, which is actually Chelsea versus Manchester United. That's the game that still have not yet played. So overall, game week 34 is still around. Okay. Um, Welcome to Rakan FPL who's joining this stream and everyone. Okay. You might ask me whether I'm alone for tonight's show because looks like it. But anyway, Azmi will join a bit later. Just to mention, it is his birthday today. Okay. So he's actually celebrating with his family. Hopefully, he will join soon. But anyway, I will walk through whatever agenda that we have tonight. So the show must go on. Okay. What we are going to have for tonight? Okay, we will run through our team review of our points so far in game week 34. Um, it to be fair, we are expecting big points, especially from Chelsea asset. We are going to have a look at that, whether our team, especially my or Azmin, has performed so far in terms of Chelsea assets. Then we are going to run through our match analysis. Okay, the 10 matches that has been played over the weekend on Saturday and also Sunday. We're also going to have a look the fixture ticker between 35 to 38 now. As we all know, we only left with 4 fixtures in the season. 34 is almost over. So we're going to look ahead. 35, 36, 37, and 38. Only 4 matches left into the season. Then we're going to have a look players to target. Okay, based on the fixture ticker. After that, we're going to have a look at game week 35 fixtures that are going to be played this week. We'll see the normal fixture of 10 matches to be played. And then, what is our captain pick for this week? Is the man on the right side, which is Coutinho, is the one that we should be picking and also captain. And then, what is our transfer plan? Myself and also Azmin approaching to this game week 35. While you're here, you can send us comment and question if you have, so we can answer those comments and questions. All right. Let's go through my team first. Okay. As you can see, at this juncture, I recorded 40 points, but with a -4 because I make 3 transfer last week. Okay, where I bring in the first I bring in Salah back from Bruno Fernandes. Okay, that turns out to be a correct decision. Okay, as we all know, Bruno or Manchester United got the penalty. Bruno took it but missed the penalty. So he actually on -1 point so far. He still has another chance to score points against Chelsea. Okay, but that's the current rate that Bruno has got. Salah, on the other hand, got an assist against Everton. We are expecting bigger than that, but 6 points is better than -1. Okay. The other transfer I made is actually bring in Mount for Kulusevski, and at the same time, I take out Weghorst to fund the move. Okay, so those are the 3 transfer that I made. Overall, I actually bang on the average point, but I took a -4. So my ranking down further to 236,000 from 206, 30,000 places falling. But Actually, I do expect better points from Chelsea. As said, you can see I captain Havertz. I only got 3 points. No points from James. He missed out that game. And then Mount only with 3 points also. Ramsdale in goal, 3 points. Okay, no clean sheet for him. TAA got a clean sheet by a yellow card. Cancelo, as we all know, Man City concede a goal. He received a yellow card. So what else you can get from him? Only mere 1 point. Shah and James miss out, so you can see from my bench White and Gordon will come in, but only for 3 points. Okay, Saka the big one. A lot of managers has taken out the most transferred out of last game week, but Saka did deliver 1 goal and 1 assist, and he could get more points than that. So he actually on 13 points. Okay, but Kane disappointing again, and Broja only come on from bench with a mere 1 point. So we can see there total 40 points that I got so far. I hope that Chelsea can perform against Manchester, but now I have some doubt whether they can still perform. Even against West Ham United, they still fail to score big points, even though West Ham can, we can say that there's a lot of the main players. Okay, they only get a score of 1-0 and at the last minute. So disappointing, I can say that, but hopefully we can perform the second game. We have a look, a glance at Azmin team. He's not here yet, but I run through his team. He played a wild card. Okay, he's played his wild card. He got 43 points so far, slightly down from 212,000 to 224,000. Okay, but we can see Schmeichel got clean sheet and I think 2 bonus point. That's why he got 8 points. So great move from Ramsdale over to Schmeichel. I feel that's the point that he got. Cancelo, like myself, 1 point. James, not turn up. Nketiah will come in from bench for 2 points. TA, 5 points. In cash, 6 points. I think Azmin is well set for this game week. Later we'll see the fixture. Cash got 6 points. Mount 3 points. He's vice captain. He captain Havertz also with 6 points. Jota, I think maybe he will be frustrated with the turnout from Liverpool against Everton fixture. Even though Liverpool did win that game, but it's a tough one. Okay, to be fair, Everton turned out for the Merseyside derby match. Jota did not deliver any points. He got 3 points. Salah 6 points. Coutinho 3 points away to Leicester. And then Pukki, all the hype, he only got 2 points against Newcastle. So overall, he got 43 points, but he still got Havertz and Mount to be played this fixture. I'm not sure about how the condition for James. If he turns out to be play, then it will be great things that can still come out from as main teams. Okay, let's have a look at Gameweek 34 so far, team of the week. Meslier with 11 points. We can see there Leeds got a clean sheet against Crystal Palace. Okay, he kept a clean sheet. He got 2 saves points and 3 bonus points. So great points whoever has Meslier in his team. Robertson 15 points. That's the big one from Liverpool game. He got the goal, the clean sheet, and 3 bonus points. Alonso 10 points. That's the best Chelsea asset in terms of points, clean sheet, and also an assist from Alonso. Even though he got yellow card, he still has another match to play and he could easily deliver again. Romero and Soyuncu got 9 points each, clean sheet and 3 bonus points. Rod Prowse, when we least expected, JWP performed. He backed 2 goals against Brighton, 3 bonus points. So we know 50 points from the Southampton captain. Saka, as we mentioned, 13 points. Bruno G delivered again with a goal. So from the brace he got from previous game week, 9 points, KDB 2 assists. So he got 2 bonus point also. So we can see that 9 points from the Belgian playmaker. The big one definitely from Jesus. Man City trash Watford 5-1, and Jesus got what? 4 goals and 1 assist, and definitely beyond bonus point. 24 points a day. It's a big one. If you own him, and if let's say you bring him in wildcard or you're free hitting last week and you have Jesus, so you got that 24 big points. And from Newcastle himself, Joelinton 2 goals against Norwich. So that's makeup of the team of the week for Game Week 34. This is the best 11 that we can get. So Azmin not here to comment further, but from here we can see what interests us is definitely Robertson. Later we touch on him. Alonso, will he be the replacement for Reece James if he still continue to be in and out from the team? So he's not secure in terms of minutes. He's mentioned on Tuchel mentioned on his discomfort on his hamstring. So he might not be able to play again in the season. We are not sure. So could Alonso could come in to replace James? That we can see. Alonso looks more attacking now, and we know how big points that he can deliver. Saka, in terms of 13 points, we can see that he still can deliver. Arsenal very much in top 4 fight. They are in 4th place right now, above than Spurs. I can see that continue. And this week against West Ham should be... but in terms of yellow flag there, whether Saka is injured or not, he's actually being sub off from the match. So that's a concern. But that's all will be revealed in the team news. Okay. So further, we can see KDB is still the main man for Man City. He could be the one if you want to be differential. I think he's still, in terms of ownership, 10% ownership. Could be lower. Jesus is the big differential. If you feel that he can secure his minutes now, still have 4 fixtures left or 5 fixtures left for Man City. He could be the big differential if you feel that Man City can continue to perform big points, especially. Jesus at 8.5 million. Okay, so he could be an option. Right, we jump into match analysis. Okay, we can see there the early matches. Arsenal defeat Manchester United 3-1. Okay, Saka got a goal and an assist. Tavares is a surprise goal. Okay, and Zaka. Okay, the bullet kick from him scored against Manchester United. In terms of Manchester United, Ronaldo get a back-to-back goal from his. He missed out the Liverpool game. He scored hat-trick before that. So he continued his goal, coming back with a goal. So he could still be an option moving forward. Okay, but as we know, he's a bit pricey. Okay, Saka got the 3 bonus point. Okay, Zaka and Ronaldo. In terms of Arsenal, they have not been keeping clean sheet by far after the international break. Ramsdale has not been performing as we all know. Okay, the clean sheet. Arsenal, we are expecting clean sheet from Arsenal to get points from Ramsdale especially, but the backline of Arsenal has not been that keeping that well. But Tavares scored and his price still cheap. I think at 4.3. If you want to think about him, he could be an option. Hopefully with this goal will secure his minutes. Okay, in terms of Tomiyasu, he did make a cameo appearance at the end of the game, so he could come in for the next game. So he could be an option. But I feel until we can see much more solidarity from Arsenal backline, we might not sure on the clean sheet coming from Arsenal. Although Saka is still the one to go. I feel he's on penalty now. With Lacazette is not in the team. We know he's the main man and talisman for Arsenal team. So Saka is the one that we should look out. In terms of Man City, as we can see, 5-1 there. A lot of managers have different players like Foden, who's not played this match. Sterling is not involved. We can see all being bulleted by Jesus. 4 goals. He got an assist. But KDB is continue with 2 assists. Okay. Cancelo did not do anything in this game. Okay. For Watford has been woeful. I feel they are going down. Okay. Looks like they cannot keep the survival for this game. I know Man City is a big team. They still got a goal from here. Dennis an assist. So maybe some manager who has him in your team is still the option. Okay. He's now cheaper at 5.8. So in terms of Man City, as said, this is how it's going to be. You are just not going to be sure on who that you're going to pick. But KDB is definitely the one. But he's pricey at 11.7 now. So if you have Salah, the like of Salah, Kane, or even Son, you will have difficulty to fit KDB in that structure. But always, if you feel that KDB is the one, he's definitely the big differential. Man City are going to have double game week somewhere in 36 or 37. So definitely he's the option to go. But you have to manage your squad. You might not have Kane or Son in terms to fund KDB into your team. In terms of Leicester versus Villa, okay, nothing from this game but clean sheet both. That's the big one. So Yunchu got the 3 bonus point, Fofana 2 and Schmeichel 1. Okay, same of Castagna. We already mentioned on Leicester involvement in European competition, where we can see mass rotation that can be played from Leicester side. We can see Madison being rested. Barnes also we have managed in terms of minutes. The likes of Lukman has some minutes to be played. Iheanacho, Daka, we can see there. In terms of minutes, we are not sure on Leicester. But they still have some outstanding matches to be played. So there'll be many which definitely want to think of Leicester asset to bring in, especially coming double game week 36 and 37. So far, if you have Madison or Barnes, I feel if you already have him, then you keep him. I don't see why you need to take them out. You just try your luck and see whether those players can perform. You should not be swapping in and out if you have Leicester asset, that I feel. Schmeichel definitely the option now. If you're wildcarding, definitely if you bring Schmeichel, that's a good one. I think he's the one that will be prone from rotation. So in terms of Villa, we can see clean sheet away. Okay, so they will have some decent matches in 35 and also upcoming double game week. Later we'll touch on Villa asset, but Coutinho, Watkins is in our mind, but they are not performing in this game yet. Okay. Norwich versus Newcastle, a lot of hype where Newcastle, Norwich, okay, to be actually in terms of Pukki especially to continue his good point. But in the end, we expect Norwich to give a fight and win this game. But it turns out Newcastle who turned out to win this game. Jolinton actually got the 2 goals. And Bruno continued his form. 1 goal. A surprise also team from we can see how actually rotate his players for this game. The like of Shah, who I have him, does not play. I think Woods also did not get any minutes from this game. So frustrating for managers who actually brought him during game week 33. Okay, for the double and continue to play this game, but he turns out not to be. So Wood has been disappointed so far. So Jolinton actually pop up with the 2 goals, but there'll be not a lot of managers who will have him. ASM produced an assist plus Murphy. So I'm not sure whether you want to think. Newcastle, on the other hand, have 3 difficult matches after this. The likes of I think Liverpool and Man City, okay, will be on their card. So I don't think we should think of them. Okay. Next one, Brentford versus Spurs. We can see there Spurs continue their um they've been not performing for the past back-to-back game, yeah, from the previous game against Brighton. Now, nothing from this game against Brentford. Okay, to be fair, Brentford actually um, hold more position in this game. Okay, and in terms of clean sheet, at least, even though Doherty is not around, Romero and Emerson Royal pick up the bonus point. Okay, so what's the likes of Kane and Spurs? Should we uh, should we keep them after these two not performing game? I think so. They still have the fixture. They still in fight for top four. Unless you want to fund to other moves like KDB, like I mentioned just now. So that could be an alarm in terms of managers owning Kane and also Son especially. I have Kane in my squad. I have no intention to replace him yet. We'll see how it goes this game week. We can see Chelsea versus West Ham. Okay, we expect big points from them, but nothing from the team. Only 1-0 and a clean sheet without Resi James some more. A lot of managers coming in for him, but whoever have Alonso, okay, he actually back 2 points. Okay, why Fabianski got 3 bonus points? Because he actually I think he did not. He actually saved the penalty from Jorginho. That's why he got the big points, even though it's no clean sheet. Thiago Silva and Chaloba got the 1 point each. Okay, Pulisic at the last minute got the goal. Okay, good for Chelsea fan in terms of getting the points, but in terms of fantasy points, not so much unless you are the Alonso owner. All right, I welcome Azmin back to the show.
Hello.
How are you, man?
I'm fine, thank you. I do apologize to everyone and my co-host as well for
Yep.
taking.
I mentioned to the viewers it's your birthday today, so happy birthday,
Okay.
bro.
Thanks. Yeah. So it took a bit longer than there were a few delays, so
So,
that's why.
how's your day so far?
Oh, okay, it's pretty good. Went out, just jalan-jalan, but cannot eat because puasa. But otherwise, we just took a break
All
and
right. Okay. It's I think it's definitely a good show. Having you as the birthday boy for this tonight. Okay. But to be fair, we already had run some of the match analysis, man.
yeah, that's
We
right.
are now looking at Burnley versus Wolves. Okay,
Yep,
as I touched before, Horse involved again in terms of assists from the previous game week 33. He got 10 points. He got another assist from this game. Vidra actually got the goal, but Burnley looks decent now with back-to-back clean sheet, man.
yeah. It's incredible what the you can argue that it's from the change of manager, but it's still, for those who kept faith in their Burnley assets, it's starting to, repay. So well done, especially to those who still have Weghorst. But especially for those who, extremely more for those who had hope. Yeah, so definitely there's some, because for goalkeeper to get your two back-to-back clean sheets is pretty good already.
Yeah,
But it's
if I see
interesting
the
with
points, 7 and 10 points. Wow, that's really good points
Pope.
from Pope.
Yeah, there you go. So meaning he also had the additional save point as well. Um, so interestingly, for the statistically inclined, you'll see that Weghorst, his XGI has increased considerably now that without Dyke compared to when Dyke was around, and it's because Wolves themselves are usually a typically tough nut to crack, but it's interesting to note how the teams that had game week 33 break, which is Wolves, Leeds, and Aston Villa, all failed to win. They either drew or lost. So it
Yep.
suggests that they may have had a longer rest, but the momentum might not be there, or the match sharpness might not be there, and it's something to think about. but I guess it's not so big now because there won't be any more teams having a blank game week. But it's just something to bear in mind for next season, I suppose.
Yep. So whoever have Pope, hats off to him. I've been thinking about him on wildcard, but if you already pass your wildcard and not having the likes of Pope, or even I mentioned Michael just now, where he actually got a clean sheet and I think 2 bonus point. So that's a better pick, other than from Ramsdale, who continue Arsenal continue not to getting the clean sheet. So that's the differential, who have those players.
Yep.
So in terms of Brighton versus Southampton, we do expect whether it's a boring near or it could be high scoring like this, 2-2. From this game, we can see Ward Prowse, okay, not in the game week 33, but he got these 2 goals from this game. So you can see how variant that JWP can be. In terms of Brighton, okay, Welbeck, even Trossard involved in assists. Just to touch in terms of Broja, who have him, I have him. Broja did not play the game. He actually sucked in somewhere in 70 minutes or so. So
Yeah.
more frustrating for Broja owner. What do you think about Southampton, man?
It's really hard to call. So this Southampton is the team that you thought were going to be on a break, and at the same time, Brighton was the team that um, had been doing well in the past couple of weeks. Yeah, with a couple of upsets, but then you come against two both I guess mid-table teams, and you got a goal scoring draw, which is good for FPL if you had the assets. But the problem is, did you? It's annoying because for someone like me who had James Ward-Prowse in game week 33, because I wildcarded in game week 34, so definitely I don't have him. And of course, watching him was so frustrating, but not much I can do about it. And just, have to accept that. However, moving forward, do we still want to consider them? It's tough. Yeah.
Stuff. Yep. Later we will run through the fixture ticker. We
Yeah.
can see that next one, Liverpool versus Everton, the Merseyside derby, the big match on Sunday. I also see this match. Saw this match. Okay, but to be fair, we especially expect Liverpool to walk over easily against Everton, but it's not the case. I saw the match. Everton do give a fight. Some troublesome for Liverpool team, but in the end, Liverpool did manage to get the win, 2-0, keep a clean sheet. Robertson produced the goal. Big points from him this week. Clean sheet, a goal, and also 3 bonus points. Origi came in, as we mentioned. Okay, Klopp like him because Origi has a good record against Everton. He continued to do that. He got the goal. From Salah point of view, he's continue to involve with an assist, and Luis Diaz with an assist coming off from the bench, So we can see that in terms of bonus point, all for Liverpool defender, Robertson, Matip, and Van Dijk. With Liverpool having double game week coming up in 36, is the third Liverpool player should be one of these players.
Yeah. Um, as someone who watched the match myself, uh, it was really frustrating to watch, but it was also really, really annoying watching Everton, how they time wasted the game. I'm sorry, I have to speak from a Liverpool fan's perspective here, but it was incredibly frustrating because looking at Everton and where they were, their position, which they had gone into the relegation zone, and you would expect that they would make a better fight out of it in terms of trying to be more positive and looking to score goals because you just know the way that they time wasted, and Pickford especially was really guilty. At one point he caught the ball and then he dropped down and then winked at the bench or something. So it was like, why would you do that? I mean, I get it. You know that you want to frustrate the opponent, but it was just, sorry, I'm talking from a footballing perspective rather than FPL perspective here. So Liverpool changed things up in the second half. They didn't let it get to them, and it was satisfying to see them score. And it's good value, although the goals, those who had Robertson were the ones who really benefited because he got a clean sheet and the goal, and that which netted him the 3 points to boot as well. However, on the Everton side, okay, I had Jota, so it's disappointing. He was finally subbed off without really scoring, but that's I accept that. But for those who are looking at Everton assets, I'm seriously looking at them, wondering whether they are worth, because they do have double game weeks to coming up as well. But I'd rather you invest in Liverpool assets rather than Everton assets, although the cost will be more expensive, of course.
Okay, when later we touch on the ticker. Last but not least,
Yeah,
Crystal Palace versus Leeds. Uh, Nothing from there. There's nil-nil. Meslier keep clean sheet, bonus point, 3 bonus point there with 2 save points. So that's why he featured in the team of the week so far. Okay, even though there's another match, Chelsea versus Manchester United. Leeds is not really safe yet. I mean, we can see Burnley actually. I think they are on 31 points, something like that. Everton 29. So they are, Everton is definitely in the bottom three. That we can say after Burnley wins. So
yeah,
Everton are desperate for points. So Leeds could still get into this suck into this mess if let's say they are not
yeah.
careful.
And what I mentioned about Wolves having the blank week and the lacking match sharpness, it was the same for Leeds as well. However, they got really lucky that Crystal Palace were all over them at one point, and Leeds just had Meslier to thank for in terms of keeping the attack as well as Ailing, and you can see there in terms of the bonus points that they collected 3 and 2 points respectively. So it goes to show just how Leeds were pushed back and were lucky to escape with a draw. However, as you rightly mentioned, the possibility of them getting sucked into that relegation zone again is there. They are really not far off, and which means that after this week, it might be a good time to look at them. We're not sure. I'm not sure about the fixtures. We'll look at that later, but then Leeds will still have something to play for, and will definitely um, need to pull up the socks and find those goals to be able to succeed. Okay, so I've got Meslier had 7 saves in this match, so it goes to show that Crystal Palace were really unlucky not to score. So 7 saves, which netted him 11 points in total, including the uh, 3 bonus points. So there you go. Crystal Palace, however, do look good, yeah, in terms of attack, even though theoretically they're safe and don't have much to play for. But Vieira's got this team playing in a way that even if they've got nothing much to play for, in terms of getting to Europe, but they are still playing positive football. So the problem, we'll see the fixture ticker, of course, but they look good for fantasy points.
Yeah, at least Crystal Palace we have double game week somewhere in 37. If you still have Crystal Palace, I think you can still hold the likes like Mateta or maybe Gallagher. Frustrating for you, man. Although Mitchell on the bench, he did not play this game. You never know if you need him.
Yeah, so it is something frustrating because I was looking to bench boost when um but with Palace actually um playing on game week 37, so that's not likely to happen. But at least it's still a double week player. Hopefully that benching was just I don't know. Hopefully, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But
Okay.
it has me considering the attacking assets again, even though they blanked this week.
Okay, man. Let's have a look for the remaining matches. We left only 35, 36, 37, 38. Four we can say fixtures for the run in is not that many more, man. This is
Yeah,
the time to really look at it. We can see here, I got this from Lego Money Twitter, FPL, in terms of matches to be played. We
yeah,
can see there, Man City, in terms matches to be confirmed yet, is actually Man City against Wolf. We are not
okay.
sure whether it will fall into 36 or 37. Okay.
I think that's been confirmed already today.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so it is in game week 36.
Or if let's say 36, then we know actually this will be we need to target Man City asset in terms of 36. Okay, if that's already confirmed, that's good.
Yeah.
I have not know yet. But in terms of roughly, yeah, if let's say we want to target, we know matches are not many left. So I pull out fixtures to be played yet, number of fixtures to be played,
Yeah.
and the significant three teams that have 6 matches to be played for the next 4 game week lah. We have
Yeah.
Leicester, Everton, and Villa. Though, so that is where I highlighted, and maybe these are the teams to target. In terms of bringing in, as we can see, Leicester have 36 double and then 37 double. Same for Everton and also Villa. I mean, so what is your early thought?
Um, it's hard to be attracted to all three of the teams that have 6 matches. I've watched the Villa match, and they seem clueless. They were unable to break through. But again, Villa and Leeds United were the two teams who blanked in game week 33. So maybe it's a match sharpness issue. So Aston Villa, then Everton, it's up and down, aren't they? They don't seem to be get. It's hard to predict what how they're gonna play. Will they do well? It seems like they focus really on survival, which means that picking up FPL assets might not be great. They might be the type. Looking at the Liverpool match, they were looking to be the type that try to defend robustly and try to steal a goal. And then if they manage a goal, then they're gonna go all back and park that bus. So it does look like that's what they're doing now. Lampard borrowing out of Jose Mourinho's playbook in terms of parking the bus. I mean, it works. I guess it can work, especially against the smaller sides. I'm not sure if it worked against Chelsea, with they coming up next. To be fair, the Everton Liverpool was a derby, so there's some additional emotion and fuel there. Then you have Leicester, who are involved in the Europa League, which makes it even harder to predict which assets are going to play. And even though they have 2 double
Okay, maybe we lost Azmin there.
Hello, you.
I mean, yeah, you're back, you're back. So you're talking about Leicester in terms of European competition.
Yeah. So it's hard to figure out whether I can't see Madison, Barnes, Nacho, starting all 4 of those matches: Everton, Norwich, Watford, Chelsea. It's almost impossible. It's very unlikely that will happen. So you just have to. I would say, I mean, you would look at it as Everton, Norwich look good though. That game week 36, so it makes sense to try to either game will be good for Leicester even if they only play one game. So look at it that way, and it's the same with the in game week 37. Just look at that Watford match. Forget the Chelsea match, for example. Are they going to score points from that Watford match? If so, you need to figure out who's going to score based on who played against Everton and Norwich.
Yeah. Later we have a look on Leicester, Everton, Villa assets, who to target if we want to target. Okay, but overall we can see there in terms of Man City, all are really favorable matches. Leeds 35, Newcastle and Wolf now we already confirmed, right? In 36 looks enticing, and then West Ham, and before ending the season at home with Villa. So all are they are really definitely up to win all these matches if they want to win the league. So we can see there in terms of from here also we can see Manchester United will only have 3 matches to be played. Okay, and they will blank in game week 37 main. So I feel from here at least we know that Manchester United, you still have him. Definitely on 36, you will take them out to some other who actually play double in 36 on 37. If you feel you want the likes of Ronaldo or Bruno this week.
Hang on, there's something's missing there though. Don't Manchester United have a game somewhere? Oh, game week 34. They still playing this tonight, tomorrow
Yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah. So I removed the 34. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No worries. Yeah, yeah.
for us to focus on the 35 week. So in terms of European competition, this is something interesting that I actually see from here. I do some research. Maybe Main already realized it. That actually West Ham, if they let's say they win the semi final, the Europa League final will be on game week 37, Main, the
Yes,
Euro
that's
final.
right.
So that
Yeah,
is another interesting facts. If you still have SM assets, although we won't recommend them. So it will definitely show that there will be more rotation in terms of Man City match in game week 37 if you are having West Ham asset.
yeah. So looking on it that way, you would think that the best option for you is to load up on Manchester City assets, because in game week 37, that West Ham team is going to be um, really, really weak. If assuming that they make it past the semi-final stage and hit to the finals, then yeah, you'd want City assets to play against that, because let's don't forget that if Manchester City make the Champions League final, that's not when their final is. Their final will be after the season is over. So
That's right. UCL final will be there, and also the European Conference League also after the season end. It's not somewhere here. So
yeah,
surprise me on the Europa League final lah.
yeah, so the Europa League is really sticking it to them. So yeah, but it's hard to pick up West Ham players now. But yeah, it would be more on picking up Manchester City players to exploit that, and that's why I guess City are on the top of the ticker list now, right? This is pretty much,
We can say that. We can say that Man
yeah,
City. Yep.
yeah, they got the best matchups. It's just in case of, I mean, the worry of course is in rotation. So there you go.
Okay. Main. So as I touched before, in terms of Man City, they won 5-1 against Watford and all been dominated by Jesus with 4 goals and 1 assist. Do you feel? Do you feel he's an option moving for this last run in?
Gosh, it's really, really hard this one, because if you look at the effective ownership of Jesus, it was at what 0.1%, of the top 10k, or yeah, and it was the only people who were picking him were those who were trying to play some weekly competition. Um, it's just that his starting status is we don't know, but of course those who took a punt this week, well done, and no harm in getting in and maybe selling him after, because if you don't know, but on that basis I keep him. um, but I still wouldn't pick him up. Yeah. So, but let's look at that Leeds Newcastle. Those are really good. We saw the Real Madrid match
Yep, yep. All three. Yep.
yesterday, and 4-3. So, and they scored really early, but unfortunately they had defensive frailties against Real Madrid. But Real Madrid had a quality attack, of course. So if you compare Real Madrid to the likes of Leeds, Newcastle, West Ham, it's not going to be the same. So
Yep.
definitely City are, or even Wolves for that matter. So definitely, I think you'd want to load up on City assets. Uh, I mean, for me, I only have Cancelo at the moment, but I need
Okay.
to seriously consider bringing more in.
Right. So let's jump straight to the analysis that I have. We ran through for players to target, especially if you think Everton is still an option. Everton do have 6 matches atau 6 games matches to be played lah. Okay, based on that fixture ticker. So on top, in terms of goal attempts and even goals, we can see that if you want to bring in the only player from Everton, Richarlison, the one main, I can see that cost at 7.5. He actually this is a stat from the last 4 matches. He got the 3 goals. Although the 2 goals from the penalty, I forgot which game. Okay, but Richardson, in terms of he's the talisman. I think he's on penalty at 7.5. You can't go wrong with him. He's the main man for Everton, right, man?
Yes, he is the main man for Everton at the moment.
Yeah,
Gordon is
without
still
DCL.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Gordon, of course, in terms of attack, you've got in Gordon, you've got someone who's young, and eager to perform and eager to prove himself. So he's not yet. He hasn't reached that stage where he's a cynical, jaded type of player. So definitely that will only help his FPL point generation. Calvert Lewin, unfortunately, is always getting injured and he seems to be hampering him even though he's back. Richarlison, the thing with Richarlison, is he a quality player? Yes. I mean, it's just a shame that one thing, of course, because unlike Brazil, he's not surrounded by this more quality team. But at the same time, his antics are just frustrating to watch. I think without if he lets go of those play make you know play acting antics, I think he'll just be an even better player. He just should focus on actual gameplay, and that's not what he's doing at the moment. Otherwise, he'd be great. But I guess in terms of for knowing the fact that Everton do have a double game week, Richarlison should be the person if you want to pick
Yep.
him. Even
Especially
as
on 37. Yep. Which you can see some decent matches there, right, man? Just now.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So they got the decent matches. It's just how whether or not Lampard, makes them
Yep.
play in a defensive manner. But it ultimately all depends on also depends on how the teams around them play as well, how they do.
Yep.
But we saw that Burnley have won and gone above
Yep.
Everton. So
I feel the worst now for Everton. They might go down, man. Right? If they're not careful.
I'm happy to hear that.
Because this week later we run the matches Burnley versus Watford. Then Burnley could easily get the 3 points. And Chelsea is actually on the card for Everton. They're coming to town, so it's going to be
Yeah.
a tough match for them. Let's go to the next one, which is Villa. Who's to target if let's say you want to think in terms of for the last 4 matches, Watkins are on top, especially in terms of penalty charges and also goal attempts. Definitely Watkins.
Yeah.
Second is Ings and then Coutinho come in. Coutinho is actually the popular one. You have him in your team. Even Cash could be in the top 5 in this list. So what do you think, mate, about Villa?
I mentioned earlier how I think they're not going to be able to get points against the top team, against the higher, bigger teams. However, last week they played against Leicester. To be fair, Leicester is one of the quality teams, but they ended up drawing 0-0, and Leicester created more. And I think Aston Villa were a bit lucky to come off, but hopefully they'll do better. I think their next match they're playing is at home. Um,
Yeah.
which should,
Norwich.
yeah, and I think they should be, but we got Aston Villa who are on 37 points, and then we got Norwich who are at the bottom of the table. So you could bank on Norwich scoring. However, I still think that Aston Villa has enough quality to come away with all 3 points. They just need to get their heads in the game. However, the home advantage I think is going to be enough, and I think this will be the week that Norwich finally go down.
Oh
It's not.
yeah,
It's not.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's an absolute certainty in terms of mathematical, but it's just hard to imagine that all
Yep. Norwich
the
can
other
win the
teams.
rest of the game. Yep.
Yeah. So of course for Norwich every game is a must win now. So it should be a interesting game to watch. I think there'll be goals in both sides. So forget about the defensive points, I would say, and look at the attacking aspect.
Okay. Uh, when we say from this table, man, in terms of Watkins, what do you think prospect of him? Do you like him as an option in a test, or you feel the number one you should get is actually Coutinho?
Yeah, I think I agree. Even though I have Coutinho, I think Watkins is the one to go for because
Watkins on penalty, right? Hmm.
yes, he is on penalties, but I don't know if that changes when Ings comes in. Uh, I like Coutinho, but of course, with those free kicks that he has as well, set pieces. So and his ability to score from long range, you can't underestimate that either. Having said that, he isn't in the box a lot,
Okay.
compared. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, if you look at the touches inside the penalty box, of course Watkins is at 30. Coutinho is
Yep.
so far away at 7.
Yep.
Um, but to be fair, only Watkins. I mean, Bailey. I mean, disregarding Bailey, but everyone else is 7-7, 8-7. So it's really not much difference. But if you want to spend on a striker, I think Watkins is the person to get.
Okay.
Having said that, if you compare to Watkins and Coutinho, again, you look at that shot conversion, it's not really different. 45.5, 42.9. So so,
Yep.
so I think you can risk it, especially if you don't want to spend too much on a striker. I
Yep.
think Coutinho should still be the way to go.
Yep. Yep. Still, would like to remind Coutinho actually had a big game somewhere. Is it 20? I forgot the which double game week he actually really outscored everyone. He got the big points, and then he actually so called destroy my ranking. Because I have not have him in my team. So we would like to remind on that potential.
Yeah.
The next one, mean Leicester. They are on Europe competition. They have a lot of potential matches, rotation, and so on. But in terms of players to target, Madison on top. In terms of attempts, and also in terms of penalty touches, also he's the one. We know Madison potential. And then second is Dewsbury Hall, Ihinacho. Barnes a bit down there. So I think Madison is the one. I mean, from these stats I can see.
Yeah. Having said that, I've been after watching some of those matches, Dewsbury Hall looks really, really, potentially good for FPL points. He gets forward a lot, and of course, he's got the people like Madison, Barnes, and maybe even Tillsman all
Yep, Telemans. Yep.
overshadowing him at the moment. But then he's really getting there. If you look at the attempts other than Madison, Dewsbury Hall is second with Iheanacho in terms of total attempts, and it's in terms of minutes he lasts
Yeah,
the
in terms of
whole.
minute, he's more secure than others that we can say.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's pretty much secure, and at that price, especially when you're looking to double and in the following game weeks, and if you got a bench boost, 4.4 is a small price to
Yep.
pay. It's
Yep.
incredible.
Fair, fair. I get you. But whoever have Madison or Barnes in his team until now, I feel you just roll dice and keep them and just play for the rest of the season. That what I feel. I won't swap with someone else.
Agree.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I agree in the sense that the thing with Madison and Barnes is that even if they are on the bench, they have a good chance of returning even when they come in as a sub. So if they come in at 70 minutes, you know that it's always possible that they'll still make it worth the while and score a goal because they'll be looking to score. If they come in during that time, that's because they're looking for score. However, I just want to mention Vardy. So now Vardy's coming back into the picture. However, as an FPL asset, I wouldn't go there. With his current injury and his age getting on, it's just too risky and too expensive to consider.
Okay. Last but not least, actually, I just want to have a feel after international break who actually players performance for each department from game week 31 until 34 so far lah. 34 still not end yet, but we can see here the top five from every department. Man, in terms of goalkeeper, Krul is number one with 24 points. Then Pope and Schmeichel we can see there. In terms of goalkeeping department. No Ramsdale inside there, but Kroll, Pope, and Schmeichel. You have Schmeichel, so he's in this list. You should be happy with that. In terms of defender, we can see that Ailing on top with 38 points, but Robertson second. He's actually among the famous one, and in terms of differential, he's still differential enough and um, more potential from him. Then Alonso, not Reece James. Alonso have 24 points from the past. Then Burn from Newcastle and even Anderson from Crystal Palace. Okay, in terms of defending. In midfield, Son has the 39 points. We know he has some big points before this. KDB continue to dominating with 35 points. Bruno G, not Bruno Fernandes, here 32 points. I'm surprised with Harrison and Trossard also inside this list, man. Yeah, if you can see, not others. Harrison continue with 29 points and Trossard 29. Forwards, we can see Jesus on top because of the 4 goals and receive.
4 goals.
Werner there 27 points. Richarlison there, man, as an
Yeah.
option 23 points. Okay, Pookie 22 points and Tony 20. So what you can make out from this we call summary tables in terms of every department.
Okay, firstly, the touching on that last one, which is Jesus, that 35 points that he got, 24 of them were in one match, and the most of the other points, which 9 points, came from Liverpool. So which goes to show that he can be depended on, and and against big teams he can score as well. Um, and where the forwards are concerned, uh, it's tough in terms for Manchester City to decide whether or not he will play simply because of the Champions League. At the before last weekend, you would think that Jesus is not a first choice
Yep.
in the team, but with that kind of performance, I don't know whether or not he will has a chance to play a lot more matches. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
it's
think
a bit
Jesus
of a
played in the Champions League yesterday, right?
yeah. So he was able to. I mean, that his performance gave him enough to, and he did score in the um, Champions League as well.
Yep.
So you would think that he will continue to start, and I'm not sure in terms of. Let me just check the. Yeah, so he was subbed off. So it might be a good risk to take if you're interested.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's the forward side. Um, I'm not confident with Werner. I'm not sure what's going on in Chelsea at the moment. Richarlison we talked about earlier. Pookie, he was supposed to. Like, that's Norwich, not Newcastle. But Pookie, yeah, he blanked.
Norwich. Yep.
He blanked against Newcastle, but you would still think that he can still score goals because he's pretty much the team are pretty much relying on him to score. Similarly, Tony, who's still in, although he blanked last week, you would still think that with this decent supply line uh, behind him. I mean, this week they play Manchester United. Game week 35, they play Manchester United. I can fully see Tony scoring in that one as well. Um, okay, so quickly to the goalkeepers. Yeah, it's hard, and we don't from here unless you still have a wild card you haven't played, or maybe in the free hit where you probably pick up a Leicester, you probably pick up Michael. It's hard to make any changes based around that. Krill, people, although Krill has the highest points, people don't have them, but Pope, people would have him. So there's not much you can do there except for the double game weeks where you would take Pope or Schmeichel who have double games. Defenders, yeah, Eiling on topping the charts there. Obviously, I have none of these players, but Burn instead of Shah is a bit disappointing considering I think we both have Shah now. Do you have Shah?
Yep.
Yeah, and then suddenly he decides, he's not in it.
That's why
And
missing the 6 points.
so midfielders. So Son, of course, it was more from the game week 31, and then I think 33 and 34 he didn't do
Yep. Yep.
much.
31 and 32. Yep.
Yeah. KDB seems to be remarkably constant, consistent actually, and it's
Yep.
definitely something to think about. Bruno G has been consistent of late as well. There's been a lot of talk about him, how before he joined Newcastle, his goal output was so much, hardly anything. He hardly scored any goals. But it's clear that we need to put that past away, and it's clear that in this Newcastle team, he's been given that license to go forward a bit more. The goal he scored in game week 33, the first goal was really lucky because it just peeled off and hit to him, and he was there to tap it in close range. But the fact that he was there in front of that goal at that time in the first place shows that he's there and he'll be looking to score goals. And at his cheap price, I think it's what 4.9 or 5.0 now.
Yep.
Really,
Yep. Could be 5.0.
Harrison, Harrison's been on my radar for half the season because I didn't fancy Rafinha, but in the end, I can't see myself going for him. And Trossard as well. I think Brighton may be looking to finishing the season on the end, but I can't see myself picking up Brighton. And I feel that Brighton are one of those teams where Potter will give some youngsters a chance
Yep.
to play in the latter stages.
Yep. Just a touch a bit on defender. I mean, we
Yeah.
can see Reece James has been continued to be disappointing, and he has a chance missing some games after Tuchel comment. So could Robertson and Alonso be? I know Robertson need more fun for James, but Alonso could be the direct replacement. Do you feel?
Yeah, in terms of returns, he's okay, but I do worry that he'll be he won't play against more defensively strong teams. I'm a bit
Okay.
I'm a bit reluctant with that one, and
All right. Okay.
yeah,
Fair. So these are the options that you all out there can see whether these are the players on form, I can say, from 31, 34, and you can still consider in terms of goalkeeping. I don't know whether if you're not wildcarding yet, then Pope and Schmeichel should be the way to go. They still have a lot to play, especially from Burnley.
yeah. For my part, I just want to say I'm really interested in KDB and Bruno G for the rest of the season. And the thing with KDB is that even with the Champions League around, he seems to be consistently putting
Yep,
up
yep,
points.
yep, yep.
And it looks
I
like Pep
agree.
is, yeah, and Pep does seem to be serious about trying to win the Premier League and not just, diverting resources to the Champions League as well.
Okay, now we go to game week 35, man. We're going to have a normal week this week. Okay. 10 matches to be played. Early kickoff, Newcastle versus Liverpool. That's an enticing one. We do expect Liverpool to win this game, but as we all know, Newcastle is not an easy team to be played, especially at St. James Park. Then Villa versus Norwich, another interesting match. Villa could actually haul this in this game. We know Norwich has lost their momentum, especially the last week against Newcastle. They lost 3-0 at home. Then at 10 p.m., okay, Villa, Norwich, Southampton versus Crystal Palace, Watford versus Burnley. This could be an important one. If let's say Watford feel they still have a chance, then this is the game. If not, if Burnley win this one, then it's all over. Then Wolves versus Brighton. Both team has nothing to be played. To be fair, then at 12:30 a.m., Leeds versus Man City. Another interesting match. Man City will need all his players to win this game, and then after that, focus back to Real Madrid away in Champions League. On Sunday itself, at 9 p.m., Everton versus Chelsea. Okay, interesting one. Everton are desperate for points. Spurs versus Leicester. And then at 11:30, West Ham versus Arsenal. Could be interesting for Arsenal game. So that's why I feel Arsenal has the upper hand. Dawson has been red carded last game. So West Ham
Mm.
barely have any defenders now in centre back, I feel. And then on Monday night, Manchester versus Brentford. So overall, main in terms of fixture 35, who the team that obvious to target?
Um, Manchester City, obviously. Okay, one thing with Manchester City, you know how we were worried about the Champions League rotation and whatnot, right? But the thing is, Manchester City, if you contrast it with Liverpool, Manchester City have a far safer or sufficient rest timeline. Okay, at least for
Yep.
this week, because they played on Tuesday night, and then their next match is on Saturday night, the last match of the day. Whereas Liverpool only play tonight, and they have the early match on Saturday, which is something that Klopp, clearly frustrated about, but it is what it is. Um, but in terms of FPL, that means you'll be a bit worried about uh, going for that Liverpool match. And let's face it, Newcastle are not pushovers anymore, and playing at St James Park, you expect a better fight. In fact, I may even consider selling Liverpool selling Salah for KDB if for this round. It's something to look at, because the thing is with Leeds, I just don't think Leeds can hold back a strong City attack.
Yep.
Even at home, and they're not going to be able to do it. The other match I want to look at is that, as you mentioned, the Arsenal versus West Ham match, simply because West Ham have no defense. they don't have any more centre backs left,
Yep.
which is or their first and second choice centre backs are all out. So
Yep. Yep. Zuma, Diop, and Dawson red card. Yep.
yeah, so Arsenal, who have upset the apple cart a few in the past weeks. They accounted for Chelsea, for example, and so they now at that fourth position, and they be looking to secure that. And yeah, if
Yep.
yeah, so definitely I can see going for Arsenal assets there. Um, I also wanted to mention that Manchester United Brentford match, because if say Manchester United lose tonight,
Is it
they
tonight or tomorrow?
sorry, tomorrow night, they,
Okay.
and against Chelsea, they then I think they're going to be open for attack. I think Brentford can really score, because I don't think they're just not going to be in it, are they?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
look like they have the spirit left. But it depends. Let's see how they play against Chelsea tomorrow night. But
Yep.
Brentford, yeah, I'm not going to discount their attack. I think they have good potential, and even at Old Trafford, Brentford can score.
Okay, man. We already uh past the 1 hour mark, so let's try to
Okay,
For
yep.
Captain Pick, man, this week, okay, as we can share, people are voting for Salah, definitely. But you already mentioned that the time frame in terms of recovery from Champions League match and then Newcastle at early kickoff. So Salah in terms of minutes might be managed. We are not sure. Okay. But he's still on top to deliver. So no surprise. But then second, Kane and Son at 18% and 10% against Leicester. KDB, like you mentioned just now, against Leeds away, could be the potential to be captain. And then last but not least, Coutinho, home to Norwich. So, what do you think, man, in terms of captain pick this week? Do you feel Salah is the right option that we should go, the obvious one, or Spurs, Man City, or even Villa could offer the same potential outcome?
I, I I really can't see me going for Salah. I mean, I have Salah now, and the fact that I'm even thinking of selling him for this week tells me that should tell you that I don't fancy his prospects. And the thing is, in game week 36, I mean, this is where the uh, area of focus of picks is concerned. He only has, he has double game week, but uh, it I feel that the Champions League is going to be really hopping on it, becoming an issue. Let's see how the game tonight is, and then we can talk about it on
Streams.
Saturday morning.
Okay.
But
Yep.
uh, if I didn't captain Salah, then most likely I would sell him and bring in KDB, who I think is the best captaincy option for this week. Given looking at City's performance, they're showing no signs of slowing down, even with the Champions League around. They can score goals. I know I talked about them previously in terms of how they prefer to manage the game. But after scoring a couple goals, but if you remember that Pep mentioned about the goal difference thing, so and it looks like they are trying to do that and score more goals, even though it's very unlikely that for me. I mean, I don't think it will be decided by goal difference, because the scenarios.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
City only 1 point ahead of Liverpool, so
Yep.
in
Yep.
order for it to be a base of goal difference, both teams have to lose and someone draw, for it to happen.
Yep.
But yeah, so I would choose between. I would pick up KDB as a captain pick.
What do you think about prospect of Spurs asset? I mean, we know that they have been a bit cool off for the past two game, and people are concerned about Son and Kane prospect moving forward. What do you feel about for them, man?
It's tough. They've hit a dry patch. Um, you would think that they fancy the chances against Leicester, because Leicester are going to be busy with their Europa, but Leicester showed how strong they could be against Aston Villa, and still managed to get away with a point. So Spurs, on the other hand, also drew last week because they couldn't score against Brentford, but the creativity wasn't there. So I it's hard. It's hard, isn't it? If Leicester end up with having more injuries after the Europa, then yeah, I probably go. That Spurs might be a good option. However, for myself, I don't have a Spurs player. But
Okay.
if you were if you had to choose between, let's say, if you had Salah and Kane or Salah and Son, then I would probably go for Son or Kane instead.
Okay, understand. If you
Yeah,
then don't have KDB, then maybe less. Spurs has can still a decent option other
yeah,
than Salah.
yeah.
Yep. How about Coutinho factor main? Do you feel if let's say we bring in him, he is a captain option for this week against Leaky Norwich?
Yeah, it is, but Norwich are at that point of no return right now, aren't they? So they're gonna try to their best to
Okay.
really hurt it out. So that's why I don't continue on a good day. He can really blow up,
Yep.
um, but I think Norwich will be
Okay.
resilient enough to prevent a haul.
All right. Fair. Those are the options for this week. We discuss more during this weekend. So now we go to our transfer plan. Min, what you will make your plan this week?
Okay, so I've moved up. I've shifted around the um, lineup again 4-5-1, but then depending on how it goes, I may bench James and put Nketiah in.
Yep.
Um, Simply because I'm not confident of James starting. Well, let's see. Because I don't know how the Chelsea Manchester United match, because James is certainly looking like he's becoming a liability. Trying to figure out when he'll play and when he won't is no good.
Yep. You
Um,
can say that to me from 31. I have him. Yep.
so I don't know if I want to spend that much on someone who doesn't start. I like Cash. Obviously, I like Cancelo, Alexander Arnold. That
Yep.
midfield I'm pretty much okay with, and I don't mind keeping Jota. Yeah, because I
Okay.
think he can do well, and it's cheaper. But
If let's
that's
say
what,
Diaz played the Champions League, I feel you can keep Jota. I mean,
yeah, and I think he will. I think Diaz will play the Champions League. I don't think Jota will play will start that
okay.
Champions League match at all. Yeah. Um, then yeah, so Dennis comes back for not come back because he's never been in my team until last week. Actually, I was always a key
You have him
person.
on the bench. Yep, and produce
Yeah,
5 points.
yeah. So I decided to stick him up because that the battle, uh, relegation battle, there should be goals in them. But and I don't have a whack horse, so Dennis it is for me. Watford are
Yep.
playing at home, so hopefully there's some home advantage there. I'm not, I'm
Yep.
not, I'm not, I'm not holding much hope though.
Okay. What do you think about Nikitia versus Puki? If let's say you bring him over James, you mentioned Norwich might have the last. They really need to fight this game. So
Yeah,
could Puki the one to be in your team?
yeah. But if I had to choose between Nketiah and Pukki, I'll probably pick Nketiah simply because of the depleted West Ham defense.
Okay. Fair.
um, although there is still a risk that he might not even start, because if Lacazette's around and even Martinelli can play up there. But I fancy Nketiah more than Pukki at the moment.
Okay.
Uh,
I like your option. I feel your need. So you play Foster over Schmeichel, mate?
yeah, so that's the other thing. So I'm not sure about this one. This could easily change, but you would think that we keep talking about Burnley and Pookie trying to go all out to survive. But what about Watford? Are they going to do the same? Because to be fair, we haven't seen the evidence that they are. They seem to be resigned to it. But if they were fortunate that because if Norwich had won last game week and moved up, they would have moved above Watford. So that would hopefully that's an alarm for Watford to buckle up and do something.
Okay, man. Your team looks great. We'll finalize your team this weekend. For my team, you can see there almost identical to Azmin. I have Ramsdale in goal. TA, Cancelo, James, and White. Looks like I'm going to play White this week because I'm not going to play Shah against Liverpool. And as you mentioned, West Ham is a depleted side now. So who knows, White could keep clean sheet or Arsenal, to be fair. James is a concern. If let's say he's looks like comment from Tuchel he's not ready, I think I would bring him out for a different player, whether Alonso or even Cash, like you mentioned against Norwich. He has the fixture running. Okay, to be fair. Then Saka, I have Saka. You don't have. I have 30 points. Saka is on yellow flag. If he's injured, then he's a priority for me to take out. And for who? Maybe Coutinho. Yeah. So Mount and Havertz in my team so far still, but they have been disappointing. I can say that if they say they turn out nothing from Manchester United game, I will feel frustrated. That I can say. Then Salah, who I bring in. If I have Bruno, I'll be on negative 1 points, because he missed the penalty. So so far so good for now. I have Kane and Broja up front. Broja is the disappointing one. We're not sure, but in terms of minutes, Broja also a concern. But if let's say Saka and James are not playing, he's a bigger priority for me to deal with first. And you can see Captain Kane currently for my team instead of Salah. If Salah punya minutes be managed, I think Kane is more clearer. I hope Spurs can bounce back from those two bad result and sprint back for their top four fight. You can see on my bench, Gordon, Shaw, and Richardson. Richardson not playing. Shaw against Liverpool, and Gordon's against Chelsea. Although, if let's say anyone miss out, Gordon can still be an option. Everton versus Manchester last time, I bench Gordon and he delivered 10 points. So
Yeah.
Gordon could deliver again against Chelsea, which are not so consistent.
I think he could. I think that Chelsea defense is weak enough, without Rudiger and the previously Chilwell as well and James, not nowhere as productive as he used to be. And I do wonder whether Chelsea are being affected by what's going on behind the scenes. For example, they've clearly lost Rudiger, and there's no way he was gonna with
Yeah,
especially with the
Rudiger gonna leave this season at the
yeah.
end of the season. Yep.
So with that in mind, I'd say you should play Gordon and bench Broja. Yeah, because you know Broja is. I mean, he's been disappointing to say the least.
Yeah, yeah. You don't tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, and at least with Everton, they still, Gordon, as I mentioned earlier, he's young, he wants to play, he wants to prove something. So I would play Gordon. That's that's
Yep.
that's about it. Everything else is fine.
How about White over Broja?
White, because I think White could
White.
keep a
Okay.
clean sheet in this one.
Okay. We shall see on the press conference. Especially if they say to Rehesaha mentioned a bit negative comments about Broja, then he's not gonna be in my team. Right, mate. We are about to end our stream. Let's pick up question from Racket FPL, especially he posted some question. This one, which combo is better, Matip, Coutinho, or Robertson, Ramsey? Wow, this a tasty one.
Robertson, Ramsey for me. I think that if you're going to spend more or choose between which team to spend on more, I'd spend more on Liverpool. The thing with Ramsey is good enough to pop up and score a goal as well. So yeah, Robertson, Ramsey for me.
Yep. It's a close one. To be fair, Matip also decent in terms of bonus point. He's at 5.1 now. Okay, and Coutinho could be a blowout. It's a tough one that I can say, but Robertson could edge it. That I can say. Havertz to Coutinho, good move. I think if they say Havertz perform this Manchester game, we are not going to sell him for Coutinho. Maybe for other players, but if they say Havertz still going to disappoint, I think Coutinho move should be okay.
Um, yeah, the thing with Havertz is that after a good run of form, he's now blanked in the past two matches against Arsenal and West Ham. So the question is whether or not he's now off form, um, and that's something that personally I don't think so, because at the end of the day, he's still far better than Lukaku. So I would
Okay.
probably keep Havertz myself. I have both, by the way, but I would
Okay.
probably
Okay.
keep Havertz if I had to choose. Yeah.
All right. Keep faith on James, like we mentioned. If let's say James are not cleared by Tuchel to play, I think I'll definitely move on from him. Is at 6.3. He's an expensive bench to me.
Yeah. So the thing is, here's this, Rakafia. If James plays tomorrow night, then I'll probably sell him after that. So, because yeah, I'm not confident of him starting again so quickly. So yeah, if he doesn't start on Thursday night, then yeah, I might keep him.
Keep Son or sell him for KDB. Oh, interesting, man. This one is interesting one.
Wow, yeah, this is tough.
I think KDB on form. Man City has the fixtures and double, and for Spurs double is actually against Arsenal and Liverpool, so it's tough one. I think if you have the money, you do it.
Yeah, I'm on the bench with on the in the middle with this one. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
Thing is with KDB is he's one of the informed players at the moment. Actually, between 28 and 34, he scored an astonishing 34, 43, 58 points. So
Oh,
KDB
okay.
is the person in form. Yeah, in the past 6 games, he scored 3 goals and 4 assists. 4 goals and 4 assists. That's
Okay.
incredible form, actually. Yeah,
Yep. KDB at 11.7, right? Hmm.
KDB is at
Good.
11.7. If you have
Yep.
money, then I'd say go for it.
Yeah. Son at 11.1. I don't know if you have the money and fun to get him. I will definitely bring him in without a doubt. He's a
Yeah.
big differential. Okay, next Captain Saka versus less centre back West Ham. Yeah, but there's a other enticing option. That's why Saka is not in the list. Just now we see Salah the option, the obvious one. But Spurs has set against Leicester. Then Azman mentioned KDB against Leeds. So I think that's much more better option. Although Saka could be an option, man. If let's say he's cleared to be played lah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't captain him to be honest. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, yeah, you should definitely field it. If you Arsenal players that will be good against West Ham, I just don't fancy captaining.
Yep. Okay.
Is it easy? Isn't he a doubt at the moment? Injury doubt?
Yep. That's why we need to see the press conference by Arteta first.
Okay.
Should Martinelli's owner move to ESR? ESR played the game against Manchester. Martinelli bench. His minutes are really not secure, man. Martinelli. I feel. I don't know. I
So
feel it's a move.
agreed. Yeah, this is a tough one. And the thing is, if I was going to move out from Martinelli, I wouldn't go for a Arsenal player either
Okay.
because
You
if you're
go.
not
You go for who? At that price bracket.
but he's only 5 point.
Yeah, it's a 5.4, right?
Yeah.
So who can you get? Maybe Bruno G, but you know Newcastle for the next 3 matches, Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal.
Yeah.
So it's tough one.
Gordon.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be the one. Vidra, good punt. We know where Horse has been performing. Vidra did pop up with a goal, but actually Vidra is not secure in minute. Vidra did came in because I forgot who actually.
Wait,
Cornet is not.
Rodriguez.
No,
Oh,
Cornet is not clear to play. That's why he came in. So in terms of minute, Vidra is Rodriguez is a better option, I think, at 5.2. I'm not sure Vidra at how much.
yeah. I do think Burnley, if Cornet is fit, that he will play because he's got the creativity bits. So yeah, I wouldn't go for Vidra. Workhorse if you want to go for a striker.
All right, man. Happy birthday wishes from Rakan MPL and even from Harish. Woohoo!
Thanks.
Happy
So
birthday,
so
bro.
yeah. So where the birthday is concerned, my only thing, my birthday wish is for me to get green arrows all the way to the end of the season. That's my birthday wish.
Yep. I can understand that. Okay, we come to the end of the stream. Just to remind managers, the deadline this week will be on Saturday at 6 p.m. Okay,
Yep.
this will be a busy week. People are after we're going to end our fasting month soon, and people are already in Hari Raya puasa mood. So we we definitely try to do this stream before we go off for our Raya mood. But next week we plan how we going to do.
Oh, it's Hari Raya Day, isn't it? I don't. It's gonna be hard for us to stream on Tuesday,
Yeah.
on
So I
Wednesday.
think maybe we miss out the midweek, but we try on the weekend stream. We shall see how. But there's definitely we try to plan this Saturday stream. At least for
Yep,
the
yep.
last one
This
before, right?
Saturday should be fine before Raya. So yeah, all the best, and to those who's fasting, yeah, all the best for your final 6 days of fasting. 6 days left. So
Yep,
yeah,
yep, yep. Yep. If you enjoy our video, do give us support. Hit the like button and subscribe to our FPL Jedi Show YouTube, where you're going to receive our early notification whenever we are live. So I think that's all from us. This show. All the best and see you again this Saturday. Take care. Bye bye.
bye.